friends. Welcome back to the Lotus Life Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Fisher. So great to be with you yet again. I am recording this podcast like 4 or 5 days early because yesterday I was lit up with a feeling and a concept, and it just started to form the words in my head, and I quickly made a note on a post-it of what I wanted to talk about, and I've got the time today to talk about it. That's how I like to operate. Things that I talk to you about are like fresh, passionately dripping, oozing from my body. So this podcast is about how to squeeze the most quality out of your life, whether that be your job, your relationships, your students, if you're a teacher, your clients, if you're in the service market, whatever it is, your craft, your paintings, your food, your garden, you want to maximize the output, right? I imagine you want the best relationship you've ever had. You want the best finances you've ever had. You want the best students. You want the best product you've ever created. So let me tell you the secret to making that possible. Stick around. I've got some great juicy info for you. First thing I want you to really feel and anchor into is that your vibe is everything. Your intention is everything. It will make or break an incredible or crappy experience. I was just talking yesterday to a friend of mine, Richard, who's been a student at my studio forever. He's done yoga teacher trainings with me. He's done it all. And Richard, who I don't know how old he is, but he is probably in his 60s, and he's a professor at Syracuse University. He's also, because he never stops learning himself, he's also an art student right now, and he's doing charcoal sketches and all this cool stuff. And he said last week he had this really eye-opening experience where he was, the model was there, he's sketching with his colleagues, and he just had tremendous moment of self-doubt. He didn't like the way he was sketching. He was feeling like, who am I to be here? Completely sitting here with all of these younger, like 20-something year olds thinking that I'm an artist, I'll never be any good. And he was just beating himself up. And his artwork that night was absolute crap, he said. He's like, it's the worst he's ever done. 2 days later, he's back in the same studio, same model, same medium, same charcoal, same everything, same person. But Richard was in a completely different mindset. He was open to receiving the teachings. He was being a student again. He was enjoying himself, and he was focused. And his artwork that day, he said, was amazing. It was back up to par. And he goes, nothing changed other than the person doing the sketching. Nothing changed. Everything was the same. Everything was the same. It was just his mindset and his outlook. So you guys use that story here as the doorway into this topic, which is your mindset is everything. That's why I'm so passionate about radical rituals. That's why I'm so passionate about manifesting mastery and the MMM group, because if we can learn how to change our mindset, you have really changed everything. Mindsets become your standards become how you live your life, and how you live your life is your identity. So if you're listening to this wondering, how the hell do I get started? How do I do anything great in my life? I'm really looking for this next level in my life, then you got to stick around. These tips that I give you, especially today, are really going to land and you're going to love it. Okay, so let's get into it. When I was first learning how to really market myself as a yoga expert, as a manifesting coach, as a radical ritual queen, I was struggling with those words I just said to you right there. So the very first point I want to give you is clarity. You need to become clear on who you are and the services that you're bringing into the world. Why? One, you need to be able to speak it clearly so that people understand what the service is that you're offering. You're gonna stumble at first. I was just also having coffee the other day with a friend. We talked about that, like what does she do for a living? And she was asked that, and she kind of struggled with what to say. And we've all been there. You can beat yourself up over that because it's like, oh shit, yeah, but it's a great moment. Like, what do I do? What is my elevator pitch? Get it down, you guys. Talk, be able and be comfortable to be able to talk about what you do because honestly, you are here to give. There is something you are extraordinary with or do or offer. There's something that you do that no one else does. You just do it so perfectly well that is a gift to this freaking world, okay? Can you just pause and please just let that sink in? And it's really important that you're able to articulate clearly and confidently what you do. I used to think it was like I would feel so selfish. I don't know if any of you resonate with that, but I used to feel so selfish and like borderline egotistical because really I never felt worthy of saying the words, I'm a radical ritual queen, but I am. So why is it so hard to say it? I never felt comfortable before saying I'm a yoga expert, but I am. I've got 2 decades of experience, thousands of hours of education and thousands of dollars put into that education as well. So it's like, yeah, I am an expert. Why is it so hard to say those things? It comes down to worthiness. Now in this podcast, I won't be able to dive into worthiness. It's a whole other thing. It's really worth it though that you dive into that. So my suggestion there, if you're getting like a ping, if you're getting like a hit when I say worthiness and you're feeling that somewhere in your body, note that, fold the corner of the page here, pay attention to that and circle back to that later. Hypnosis work, inner child healing, doing radical rituals with me. These are all ways that you'll be able to really feel into why it is you feel you are not worthy of the God-given talents that you actually possess in your body right now. You have to do that work because once you do, it becomes really easy to say what you do. And you're resting on the bones when you're worthy, when you finally let that sink in, you're resting on the bones of your confidence. So you don't need validation from anyone else. In fact, you can say it and you don't even care. You should see the like eyebrow raising I get when I say I'm a radical ritual queen. People are just like, uh-huh. Right, I do accounting. Like like I'm like, all right, cool. They don't need to get it. I get it. That I'm the only person that needs to understand it. And I've got my tribe out there, and they get it, and that's cool too. That's the only other people I need, right? But it first begins with me. So do your worthiness work, get worthy, understand that you are, just understand that you are the one that is being called to bring this incredible work through. You are the channel, you are the conduit, you're being requested by the universe. So let that sink in. Become your worthy self. You will learn to speak clearly what it is you do. I'm going to give you another little tip here. Mirror work. Get in front of your mirror, you guys, and just practice it first in front of your mirror. Talk, give yourself eye contact, say what you do, practice it, stumble with it, like sound like the Tasmanian devil. Start over a million times. No one's around. It doesn't have to be perfect. But what you want to do is just get your nervous system used to it. And it's so much fun because when you start to nail it with practice, you're like, oh shit, that sounded so good. Oh my gosh, I'm going to say it again. And you practice and you practice and you practice. And before you know it, it's in your nervous system and it's being held by your unconscious mind. So then when someone in public asks you, hey, what do you do for a living, by the way? Oh, I'm a radical ritual queen and I'm a manifesting coach. I'm also a yoga expert and I own 2 businesses. One's a yoga studio located in Syracuse, New York, and the other is an online coaching business. What do you do? Right? Like it just becomes as natural as you're talking about like ordering your latte that you want your favorite hot beverage, right? Like it just is natural. Okay, so what's the other reason I need you to be very clear about who you are? You need you to be very clear because you attract what you are. You attract what you are. What do I mean by that? If you are unclear with who you are and the gifts you have to offer, you are going to attract unclear people and unclear opportunities. Does your life feel confusing right now? Let me just ask you. Just honestly, like lovingly answer that for yourself. Does your life feel a little unclear? Are you unsure if you belong where you are? Are you unsure if you like the people that you're hanging with? Are you unsure, right? Do you just have a feeling of like, I don't know what's next, but I know this isn't it? It could probably stem from the fact that you are unclear with who you are, because we attract who we are. Okay? So that's point number 1. Get clear on who you are. Now, the second thing I want you to do to squeeze the maximum joy and the maximum awesomeness out of your life is get organized. Organization is not sexy, but man, is it effective. Get organized with your paperwork, your to-do lists, or what I now refer to as to-do lists, because they're just more magical when they're to-do lists or not to-do lists. Get organized. Do you need a paper system? Like I love right now, paper organizers. Or do you need to work out of a digital system like Evernote or Notion or Google Note? These are all incredible digital tools to help you stay organized, because you guys, remember, you attract what you are. So let me ask you a question. Does your life feel unorganized? Are you doing a million things at once and getting nowhere? Are you doing 3 things at once and always dropping the ball on the thing that really matters and you're wondering what the hell's going on? Are you not able to make progress on that project that really matters? Have you never been able to finish painting that bedroom? Have you never been able to put that piece of furniture together? Are you just dying to get into that hobby or craft, but you can't find the time? Time management is organization. You can get to those things. You just need to learn how to manage your time better. And it comes down to organization. Look around you. If you just want to know if you're organized, open up your eyes and look around. And you guys, I giggle because coming off the heels of tax season, the right side of my desk over here has a mound of paperwork and taxes that I need to put away. And I'm laughing because I'm also looking over here to the left and I've got a stack of books and papers for the upcoming YTT that are just on the floor and it doesn't look too organized. So note to self, that can run away with itself and just have more clutter babies. Like I feel like clutter just makes babies. Somehow it gets more cluttering. Actually, there's a word for that. There's a scientific, what is it? Oh, it's called like the vector or oh shoot. Oh my gosh, I know this. I'll look it up for you guys. But there's a fascinating physics law where things that are left untouched just get more chaotic. Is it the law of chaos? I don't know. But anyhow, there's a law where literally in a system, in a closed system, if you leave things alone, they will actually get more and more messy. So it's a chaos theory. Maybe it's chaos theory. I'm going to look it up real quick. Pause. Please pause. Chaos theory? Okay, it came up. Chaos theory is an interdisciplinary scientific theory and branch of mathematics focused on underlying patterns and deterministic laws, highly sensitive to initial conditions and dynamical systems that were thought to have completely random states of order and irregularities. Well, what the fuck did I just read? What is chaos theory in simple terms? Love it. Chaos theory in mechanics and mathematics, the study of apparently random or unpredictable behavior in systems governed by deterministic laws. A more accurate term, it suggests a paradox because it connects two notions that are familiar and commonly regarded as ink. I don't know if this is it. Anyways, that's fascinating. Not sure what I just read to you and how it relates to any of this, but back to the point. Get organized. Get organized with your desk, with your clothing. Get organized with your finances. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm doing right now. Read Profit First. Read Profit First. Get organized. Because you guys, the more you're organized, the faster you're going to be able to go. And you're going to have a system in place, which is again going to give you this integrity and the bones that you can rest on so that you can be your creative, spontaneous self. That you can, when you have organization, your mind is on board. Your mind understands what's happening. When your mind understands what's happening, you will have better success planning. You'll also have better, like a needle, like an internal compass needle of a yes or a no on something, because you'll know, because you're organized, just how much you got stacked up for the week, just how much you got stacked up for the month or the year even. You'll have a better reading when someone asks you or invites you into something else. My answer is always, let me check my planner and get back to you, by the way. It's always okay to say that. So get organized, and here's the larger reason why. Hopefully you're already hearing my voice in your head. You attract what you are. That's today's mantra. If you are unorganized, you are going to attract unorganized people and events. Energy matches energy. It's one of those magical laws of the universe. How you are is what you attract. Like energy attracts like energy. So it's not necessarily the universe's fault, and it's not anyone else's fault. It's your fault. And I say that playfully and lovingly, but get organized and watch the world line up in organized fashion as well. That doesn't mean you won't have moments of hiccups or moments of like chaos, but you're going to be so much more calm and prepared for the chaos and the unplanned events because you're resting on the bones of organization. That when something unpredictable happens, you're going to be less reactive. Because think about probably how you are right now, moving a million miles a minute, unorganized, unclear, and frazzled, right? The nervous system is just like, Jesus, like, why? This is like tough. Life is just hard. I am like at the edge always. And here comes this unpredictable event. And what do? We like explode with overreacting. Is such a waste of energy. If we arrive and are greeted by that event as an organized and clear being, we are going to react completely different. Okay? So, first one, get clear. Second one, get organized. And the third piece is get amped. Okay? Just like this last podcast, I've got 3 tips for you. So, 3 tips for how to squeeze the most yes out of everything you're doing. The third tip is get amped, get psyched, get passionate, get on fire for things. Why? Because you attract what you are. If you're looking around going, man, the people in my life are super negative. Man, the things in my life just lack fun, and I don't even like the things in my apartment, or I don't even like my clothes that I wear. I don't even like the people I hang out with. I don't like my job. I don't like my bank account. Like, does your life not have high vibes in it? And are you wondering how to change that? Baby, it starts with you. It starts with you. We've got to find a way to reach in, find your happiness dial, crank that baby up to 10, and maybe dial it back down to like a 6 and simmer, right? But like, we want to be able to reach into our soul, find our heart, turn up that purpose, and feel on fire for our life. And guess what? If you're hearing that and you're feeling a negative, like a response in your nervous system, if you're hearing that and your mind goes, yeah, but like, that's impossible to feel happy every day. I want you to feel into that, because if any of these 1, 2, and 3 that I just gave you gives you some sort of energetic response back that makes it feel impossible, there's the work to be done. Wherever you feel a negative or worrisome response to something positive, there lies the work. Go toward it. Do not believe the story that you can't do it. Do not believe the story you can't do it. If you continue to believe that story that you can't do it, guess what? Just like Henry Ford said, no matter if you think you can or you cannot, you're right. If you think you can or you cannot, you're correct. So what you think is so important. Get clear, get organized, get amped for your life, for the things that turn you on. Become someone who's walking around turned on. People are drawn to that. And not just anyone, you guys. When you're passionate and you're organized and you're clear, you are going to attract passionate, organized, and clear people. Maybe they're not organized and clear yet, but there's something about you that's attracting the people that are about to become, because you are the piece that they're missing. Does that make sense? So these are individuals who are ready for your lessons. They're ready for who you are. And I'm very much speaking to the entrepreneur right now. I'm very much speaking to the person who is in service, the service-based industry. Whether you have a product you sell, or you teach classes, or you're about to design something, or you're a YouTuber, you're a podcaster, you're serving others with your amazing heart and soul and voice, you are going to attract people who are you like 5 years ago. You tend to attract the younger version of you. And so speak to your younger self. Speak to your younger self and recognize that they're probably not organized yet. They're probably not clear, and they're probably not amped up yet. And so you're going to show them how to do those things, because you already are. And they'll naturally just fold right into the teachings and offerings you have, because they're aligned already. You're finding the people. Now, here's the other great side of all of this. So I made this podcast with the title of How Do You Squeeze or Extract the Most Joy Out of Your Life? Or something like that, whatever I said in the beginning of this talk. What I mean by that is also the flip side is, how do you eradicate the lack of joy in your life? So this is a 3-step system that you can do: get clear, get organized, get amped, to make sure that you are streamlining everything in your life. And this will naturally help you to say no to the things that don't match that. Is this help me get more clear? No. Does this help me get more organized? And the clearer you are, the more you're going to be able to feel into your yes and your no. And people are going to resonate to that. You are going to get so clear on who you are and what you want from life that job opportunities are just going to not come to you that are not meant for you. People are just not going to say hi to you that aren't meant for you. And you can start to trust more and more the gifts and the opportunities. Isn't that cool? So like, you are going to start to just notice a shift in everything, from all of a sudden, all these people I don't want, all these negative people, all these negative things are happening, all these chaotic things are happening. I'm not prepared for any of this. I feel overwhelmed all the time. And suddenly we start to get clear, we start to get organized, we start to feel the passion for that. And then there's a little bit of a turn of the nose of the boat. You guys with me? And then it's like, whoa, suddenly I met this person the other day at the coffee shop, and we had this tremendously positive conversation. That's a sign it's working. Or then I sat down and I really organized my to-do list, my to-do list, just like Kim said to do. And oh my God, I got some things done. And then it starts to just snowball from there. Okay. So not only are you going to squeeze the maximum amount of joy and hell yes out of the things in your life, you're also going to start to see the things that don't serve you fall away naturally. They're not even going to come into your circuitry. They're not even going to come into your force field, because you are so clear and so amped and so organized that you are, just by existing, attracting exactly what you should be attracting and repelling what you don't need. Now remember, the caveat here is that if something comes into your orbit that at first glance feels like a no, after you've been doing clarity work and after you've been organized and after you've been amped for some time, you get to then go, whoa, that was unexpected. And I'm having a negative reaction, but there's a lesson. I actually have the organization, the skill, and the foresight now to work with this and to learn from this. Instead of before, remember the example of you're unorganized and you get like that flat tire, or you get that that you owe on your taxes and your life suddenly crumbles, or that friend calls you out and it's just like, oh, brings the drama in again. And you're just like, okay, you know what? Now I'm in such a different headspace and heart space that I can actually see this as a blessing and a lesson, because I'm actually attracting the things that are going to elevate me. I'm attracting now the things that will help me to heal. That's the level we get to operate at. How do you feel about that? You liking these 1, 2, and 3 things? I am just like literally so amped to even express all that. And I'm so grateful that came through the other day that this is the podcast to make for you. And I'm so glad I hit record, and I hope this served you. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Let me know, reach out to me in social media lands and let me know how this is influencing your life and how you're taking action on steps 1, 2, and 3. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being with me today and listening. Have an awesome day. I will be with you soon.